Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Walaikum salam.
Somebody
Walaikum salam, brother.
just told me the minister would be speaking soon. I don't know what they're talking about. Y'all ain't seen no flyer or nothing, huh, y'all? I don't know what this brother.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I don't know what this brother talking about. All right, we're on part 10 of the Holy Quran. We getting through this thing, y'all. Looking like we almost halfway through. We almost halfway through. Not, of course, we're at Ramadan. We got a few more weeks, but look like the reading. We getting through there. For those who have this version, Maulana Muhammad Ali version, we are on page 385. We're on page 385. Also, man, let me apologize. Yesterday, man, it cut off when the brother was speaking. My laptop died, and I know my stream, it was still going as if it was live, but there's nothing I could do about it. The YouTube, I guess, it still was just appearing to be live, but my my laptop died. I actually walked away to get my laptop charger, and when I got back, the whole screen was black. I said, "Good God Almighty!" So there's that. But we're on Surah 8. We're gonna start off with Surah 8 or chapter 8, ayat number 41. We're on part 10, chapter 8, verse or ayat 41. Okay. All right, who are our readers? Let me see if we got a queue here, if we can put a queue together. Okay, I see a few. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know who. If you want to speak, I'm going to need you to make yourself a real name versus the Zoom user, because I'm not going to know who you are. So if you can change your name and then re-put the number 1 again, that'd be helpful. All right, let's start off with Surah 8, 41. And we are reading 2 sections each. By the way, we're going to read 2 sections each. Okay. And know that whatever you acquire in war, a fifth of it is for Allah, for the messenger, and for the near of kin, and the orphans, and the needy, and the wayfarer. If you believe in Allah and in that which we revealed to our servant on the day of discrimination, the day on which the 2 parties met, and Allah is the possessor of power over all things. When you were on the nearer side of the valley and they were on the farther side, while the caravan was in a lower place than you, and if you had tried to make a mutual appointment, you would certainly have broken away from the appointment. But in order that Allah might bring about a matter which had to be done, that he who perished by clear argument might perish, and he who lived by clear argument might live. And surely Allah is the hearing, knowing. When Allah showed them to thee in thy dream as few, and if he had shown them to thee as many, you would certainly have become weak-hearted, and you would have disputed about the matter. But Allah saved you. Surely he is knower of what is in the breast. And when he showed them to you, when you met as few in your eyes, and he made you to appear few in their eyes, in order that Allah might bring about a matter which had to be done, and to Allah are all affairs returned. Ooh, my eyes burning. Section 6. Success does not depend on numbers. All you who believe, when you meet an army, be firm. Remember Allah much, that you may be successful. And obey Allah and his messenger, and dispute not one with one another, lest you get weak-hearted and your power depart. And be steadfast. Surely Allah is with the steadfast. And be not like those who came forth from their homes exultingly, and to be seen of men. And they hinder people from the way of Allah, and all encompasses what they do. And when the devil made their works fair seeming to them, and said, none among men can overcome you this day, and I am your protector. But when the two armies came in sight of one another, he turned upon his heels and said, surely I am clear of you. I see what you see not. Surely I fear Allah, and Allah is severe in requiting. All right. I gotta put this. Sister Brianna. Wait 1 sec. I know you can't talk right now. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you kindly. Section 7. Enemies' strength weakened. And when the hypocrites and those in whose hearts is a disease said, their religion has deluded them. And whoever trusts in Allah, then surely Allah is mighty, wise. And if thou couldst see when the angels cause to die those who disbelieve, smiting their faces and their backs, and saying, taste the punishment of burning. This is for what? For that which your own hands have sent on before. And because Allah is not in the least unjust to the servants. In the manner of the people of Pharaoh and those before them, they disbelieved in Allah's messages. So Allah punished them for their sins. Surely Allah is strong, severe in requiting. This is because Allah never changes a favor which he has conferred upon a people until they change their own condition. And because Allah is hearing, knowing. In the manner of the people of Pharaoh and those before them, they rejected the messages of their Lord. So we destroyed them for their sins, and we drowned Pharaoh's people, and they were all wrongdoers. Surely the vilest of beasts in Allah's sight are those who disbelieve, then they would not believe. Those with whom thou makest an agreement, then they break their agreement every time, and they keep not their duty. So if thou overtake them in war, scatter by them those who are behind them, that they may be mindful. And if thou fear treachery on the part of a people, throw back to them their treachery on terms of equality. Surely Allah loves not the treacherous. Section 8, peace to be secured by strength. And let not those who disbelieve think that they can outstripe us. Surely they cannot escape. And make ready for them whatever force you can in horses tied at the frontier to frighten thereby the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others besides them, whom you know not. Allah knows them. And whatever you spend in Allah's way, it will be paid back to you fully, and you will not be wronged. And if they incline to peace Incline thou also to it, and trust in Allah. Surely He is the hearer, the knower. And if they intend to deceive thee, then surely Allah is sufficient for thee. He it is who strengthened thee with His help and with the believers, and He has united their hearts. If thou hadst spent all that is in the earth, thou couldst not have united their hearts, but Allah united them. Surely He is mighty, wise. O Prophet, Allah is sufficient for thee and those who follow thee of the believers.
Brother King Cam.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Section 9. Muslims to meet overwhelming numbers. O Prophet, urge the believers to fight. If there be of you 20 steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be of you 100, they shall overcome 1,000 of those who disbelieve, because they are a people who do not understand. Now Allah has lightened your burden, and He knows that there is weakness in you. So if there be of you 100 steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be 1,000, and if there be of you 1,000, they shall overcome 2,000 by Allah's permission. And Allah is with the steadfast. It is not fit for a prophet to take captives unless he has fought and triumphed in the land. You desire the frail goods of this world, while Allah desires for you the hereafter. And Allah is mighty, wise. Were it not for an ordinance from Allah that had gone before, surely there would have befallen you a great chastisement for what you were going to do. Eat then of the lawful and good things which you have acquired in war, and keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Section 10. Relations of Muslim state with others. O Prophet, say to those of the captives who are in your hand, if Allah knows anything good in your heart, He will give you better than that which has been taken from you, and will forgive you. And Allah is forgiving, merciful. And if they intend to be treacherous to thee, so indeed they have been treacherous to Allah before, but He gave you mastery over them, and Allah is knowing, wise. Surely those who believed and fled their homes and struggled hard in Allah's way with their wealth and their lives, and those who gave shelter and help, these are friends one of another. And those who believed and did not flee, you are not responsible for their protection until they flee. And if they seek help from you in the matter of religion, it is your duty to help them, except against a people between whom and you there is a treaty, and Allah is seer of what you do. And those who disbelieve are friends one of another. If you do it not, there will be persecution in the land and great mischief. And those who believed and fled and struggled hard in Allah's way, and those who gave shelter and help, these are the believers truly. For them is forgiveness and an honorable provision. And those who believed afterwards and fled and struggled hard along with you, they are of you. And the relatives are nearer one to another in the ordinance of Allah. Surely Allah is knower of all things.
Mm-hmm. See something here. Up next, we have Brother Javar.
Section 1, Declaration of Immunity. A declaration of immunity from Allah and His Messenger to those of the idolaters with whom you made an agreement. So go about in the land for 4 months and know that you cannot escape Allah, and that Allah will disgrace the believers. And an announcement from Allah and His Messenger to the people on the day of the greater pilgrimage, that Allah is free from liability to the idolaters, and so is His Messenger. So if you repent, it will be better for you, and if you turn away, then know that you will not escape Allah, and announce painful chastisement to those who disbelieve, except those of the idolaters with whom you made an agreement. Then they have not failed you in anything and have not backed up anyone against you. So fulfill their agreement to the end of their term. Surely Allah loves those who keep their duty. So when the sacred months have passed, slay the idolaters wherever you find them, and take them captive, and besiege them, and lie in wait for them in every ambush. But if they repent and keep up prayer, and pay the poor rate, leave their way free. Surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. And if any one of the idolaters seek thy protection, protect him till he hears the word of Allah. Then convey him to his place of safety. This is because they are a people who know not. Section 2, Reasons for the Immunity. How can there be an agreement for the idolaters with Allah and with his messenger, except those with whom you made an agreement at the sacred mosque? So as long as they are true to you, be true to them. Surely Allah loves those who keep their duty. How can it be? And if they prevail against you, they respect neither ties of relationship nor covenant in your case. They would please you with their mouths while their hearts refuse, and most of them are transgressors. They have taken a small price for the messages of Allah, so they hinder man from his way. Surely evil is that which they do. They respect neither ties of relationship nor covenant in the case of a believer, and these are they who go beyond the limits. But if they repent and keep up prayer and pay the poor rate, they are your brethren in faith. And we make the messages clear for a people who know. And if they break their oaths after their agreement and revile your religion, then fight the leaders of disbelief. Surely their oaths are nothing, so that they may desist. Will you not fight a people who broke their oaths and aimed at expulsion of the messenger? And they attacked you first? Do you fear them? But Allah has more right that you should fear him, if you are believers. Fight them. Allah will chastise them at your hands and bring them to disgrace, and assist you against them, and relieve the hearts of a believing people, and remove the rage of their hearts. And Allah turns mercifully to whom he pleases, and Allah is knowing, wise. Do you think that you would be left alone while Allah has not yet known those of you who struggle hard and take not anyone as an intimate friend besides Allah and his messenger and the believers? And Allah is aware of what you do.
All right. Sister Kenyatta has section 3, idolaters, service of the sacred house.
The idolaters have no right to maintain the mosque of Allah while bearing witness to disbelief against themselves. These it is whose works are vain, and in the fire will they abide. Only he can maintain the mosque of Allah who believes in Allah and the last day, and keeps up prayer, and pays the poor rate, and fears none but Allah. So these it is who may be of the guided ones. Do you hold the giving of drink to the pilgrims and the maintenance of the sacred mosque equal to the service of one who believes in Allah in the last day and strives hard in Allah's way? They are not equal in the sight of Allah, and Allah guides not the iniquitous people. Those who believed and fled their homes and strove hard in Allah's way with their wealth and their lives are much higher in rank with Allah. And it is these that shall triumph. Their Lord gives them good news of mercy and pleasure from himself, and gardens wherein lasting blessings will be theirs, abiding therein forever. Surely Allah has a mighty reward with him. O you who believe, take not your fathers and your brothers for friends if they love disbelief above faith. And whoever of you takes them for friends, such are the wrongdoers. Say, if your fathers and your sons and your brethren and your wives and your kinsfolk and the wealth you have acquired and trade whose dullness you fear and dwellings you love, are dearer to you than Allah and His messenger, and striving in His way, then wait till Allah brings His commands to pass. And Allah guides not the transgressing people. Section 4, Islam made triumphant in Arabia. Certainly Allah helped you in many battlefields, and on the day of Hunan, when when your great numbers made you proud, but they availed you nothing, and the earth with all its spaciousness was straitened for you, then you turned back retreating. Then Allah sent down his calm upon his messenger and upon the believers, and sent hosts which you saw not, and chastised those who disbelieved. And such is the reward of the disbelievers. Then will Allah, after this, turn mercifully to whom He pleases, and Allah is forgiving, merciful. O you who believe, the idolaters are surely unclean, so they shall not approach the sacred mosque after this year of theirs. And if you fear poverty, then Allah will enrich you out of His grace if He please. Surely Allah is knowing, wise. Fight those who believe not in Allah, nor in the last day, nor forbid that which Allah and His messenger have forbidden, nor follow the religion of truth out of those who have been given the book, until they pay the tax in acknowledgement of superiority, and they are in a state of subjection.
Brother Jamil.
Yes, sir. Section 5. Islam will triumph in the world. And the Jews say, Ezra is the son of Allah. And the Christians say, the Messiah is the son of Allah. These are the words of their mouths. They imitate the sayings of those who disbelieved before. Allah's curse be on them, how they are turned away. They take their doctors of law and their monks for lords besides Allah, and also the Messiah, son of Mary. And they were enjoined that they should serve one God alone. Only, there is no God but He. Be He glorified from what they set up with Him. They desire to put out the light of Allah with their mouths, and Allah will allow nothing save the perfection of His light, though the disbelievers are averse. He it is who has sent His messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth, that He may make it prevail over all religions, though the polytheists are averse. O you who believe, surely many of the doctors of law and the monks eat away the property of men falsely, and hinder them from Allah's way. And those who hoard up gold and silver and spend it not in Allah's way, announce to them a painful chastisement. On a day when they will be heated in the fire of hell, then their foreheads and their sides and their backs will be branded with it. This is what you hoarded up for yourselves, so taste what you used to hoard. Surely the number of months with Allah is 12 months by Allah's ordinance, since the day when He created the heavens and the earth. Of these 4 are sacred. That is the right religion, so wrong not yourselves therein, and fight the polytheists altogether as they fight you altogether. And know that Allah is with those who keep their duty. Postponing of the sacred month is only an addition in disbelief, whereby those who disbelieve are led astray. They allow it 1 year and forbid it another year, that they may agree in the number of months which Allah has made sacred, and thus make lawful what Allah has forbidden. The evil of their doings is made fair seeming to them, and Allah guides not the disbelieving people. Section 6. The Tabuk Expedition. O you who believe, what excuse have you that when it is said to you, go forth in Allah's way, you should incline heavily to earth? Or you contended with this world's life instead of the hereafter? The provision of this world's life is but little as compared with the hereafter. If you go not forth, He will chastise you with the painful chastisement and bring in your place a people other than you, and you can do him no harm. And Allah is possessed of power over all things. If you help him not, Allah will certainly help him when those who disbelieve expelled him. He being the second of the two, when they were both in the cave, when he said to his companion, "Grieve not, surely Allah is with us." So Allah sent down his tranquility on him and strengthened him with hosts which you saw not, and made lowest the word of those who disbelieve. And the word of Allah, that is the uppermost, and Allah is mighty wise. Go forth, light and heavy, and strive hard in Allah's way with your wealth and your lives. This is better for you if you know. Had it been a near gain and a short journey, they would certainly have followed thee, but the hard journey was too long for them. And they would swear by Allah, if we had been able, we would have gone forth with you. They caused their own souls to perish, and Allah knows that they are liars.
Praise be to Allah. We are on page 410. We are on chapter 9 or Surah 9, ayat 43, page 410. Let's go to Sister Tornisa.
See what time it is? It's 9:30. Going.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere to get you nothing.
Chapter 9 or Surah 9,
Um,
9:30.
Section 7, the hypocrites. Allah pardoned thee. Why didst thou permit them until those who spoke the truth had become manifest to thee, and thou hadst known the liars? Those who believe in Allah and the last day ask not leave of thee to stay away from striving hard with their wealth and their persons. And Allah is knower of those who keep their duty. They alone ask leave of thee who believe not in Allah and the last day, and their hearts are in doubt. So in their doubt they waver. And if they had intended to go forth, they would certainly have provided equipment for it. But Allah did not like their going forth. So he withheld them, and it was said, hold back with those who hold back. Had they gone forth with you, they would have added to you naught but trouble, and would have hurried to and fro among you seeking no sow to sow dissension among you. And among you there are those who would listen to them. And Allah well knows the wrongdoers. Certainly they sought to sow dissension before, and they devised plots against thee till the truth came. And Allah's command prevailed, though they did not like it. And among them is he who says, excuse me, and try me not. Surely into trial have they already fallen, and truly hell encompasses the disbelievers. If good befalls thee, it grieves them. And if hardship afflicts thee, they say, indeed, we have taken care of our affair before. And they turn away rejoicing. Say, nothing would afflict us save that which Allah has ordained for us. He is our patron, and on Allah let the believers rely. Say, do you wait for us but one of two most excellent things? And we wait for you that Allah will afflict you with chastisement from himself or by our hands. So wait. We too are waiting with you. Say, spend willingly or unwillingly. It will not be accepted from you. Surely you are a transgressing people, and nothing hinders their contributions being accepted from them, except that they disbelieve in Allah and in his messenger, and they come not to prayer except as lazy people, and they spend not but what while they are reluctant. Let not then their wealth nor their children excite thine admiration. Allah only wishes to chastise them therewith in this world's life, and that their souls may depart while they are disbelievers. And they swear by Allah
that they are truly of you, and they are not of you, but they are a people who are afraid. And if they could find a refuge or caves or a place to enter, they would certainly have turned thereto, running away in all haste. And of them are those who blame thee in the matter of the alms. So if they are given thereof, they are pleased. And if they are not given thereof, lo, they are enraged. And if they were content with that which Allah and his messenger gave them, and had said, Allah is sufficient for us, Allah will soon give us more out of his grace and his messenger too. Surely to Allah we made petition. Section 8, the hypocrites. Zakat, charity, is only for the poor and the needy, and those employed to administer it, and those whose hearts are made to incline to truth, and to free the captives, and those in debt, and in the way of Allah, and for the wayfarer, an ordinance from Allah, and Allah is knowing, wise. And of them are those who molest the prophet and say, he is all eat. Say,
Ear.
a hearer of good for you. He believes in Allah and believes in the faithful, and is a mercy for those of you who believe. And those who molest the messenger of Allah, for them is a painful chastisement. They swear by Allah to you to please you, and Allah, as well as his messenger, has a greater right that they should please him if they are believers. Know they not that whoever opposes Allah and his messenger, for him is the fire of hell to abide in it. That is the grievous abasement. The hypocrites fear lest a chapter should be sent down concerning them, telling them plainly of what is in their hearts. Say, go on mocking. Surely Allah will bring to light what you fear. And if thou ask them, they would certainly say, we were only talking idly and sporting. Say, was it Allah and his messages and his messenger that you mocked? Make no excuse. You disbelieved after your believing. If we pardon a party of you, we shall chastise a party because they are guilty.
Sister Diabra.
Section 9, the hypocrites. The hypocrites, men and women, are all alike. They enjoin evil and forbid good and withhold their hands. They have forsaken Allah, so he has forsaken them. Surely the hypocrites are the transgressors. Allah promises the hypocrites, men and women, and the disbelievers the fire of hell to abide therein. It is enough for them, and Allah curses them, and for them is a lasting chastisement. Like those before you, they were stronger than you in power and had more wealth and children, so they enjoyed their portion. Thus have you enjoyed your portion, as those before you enjoyed their portion, and you indulged in idle talk as they did. These are they who seek, these are they whose works are null in this world and the hereafter, and these are they who are the losers. Has not the story reached them of those before them, of the people of Noah, Ad, and Thamud, and the people of Abraham, and the dwellers of Midian, and the overthrown cities? Their messengers came to them with clear arguments. So Allah wronged them not, but they wronged themselves. And the believers, men and women, are friends one of another. They enjoin good and forbid evil, and keep up prayer and pay the poor rate, and obey Allah and his messenger. And for these, and for these, Allah will have mercy on them. Surely Allah is mighty wise. Allah has promised to the believers, men and women, gardens wherein flow rivers to abide therein, and goodly dwellings in gardens of perpetual abode. And greatest of all is Allah's goodly pleasure. That is the grand achievement. Section 10, the hypocrites. O prophet, Strive hard against the disbelievers and hypocrites, and be firm against them, and their abode is hell, and evil is the destination. They swear by Allah that they say nothing, and certainly they did speak the word of disbelief, and disbelieved after their Islam, and they purposed that which they could not attain. And they sought revenge only because Allah, as well as his messenger, had enriched them out of his grace. So if they repent, it will be good for them. And if they turn away, Allah will chastise them with a painful chastisement in this world and the hereafter. And they shall have in the earth neither a friend nor a helper. And of them are those who made a covenant with Allah. If he gives us out of his grace, we will certainly give alms and be of the righteous. But when he gave them out of his grace, they became niggardly of it, and they turned away, and they are averse. So he requited them with hypocrisy in their hearts till the day when they meet him, because they broke their promise with Allah and because they lied. Know they not that Allah knows their hidden thoughts and their secret counsels, and that Allah is the great knower of the unseen things. And that Allah is the great knower of the unseen things. Those who taunt the free givers of alms among the believers, as well as those who cannot find anything to give, but with their hard labor, they scoff at them. Allah will pay them back their mockery, and for them is a painful chastisement. Ask forgiveness for them, or ask not forgiveness for them. Even if thou ask forgiveness for them 70 times, Allah will not forgive them. This is because they disbelieve in Allah and his messenger, and Allah guides not the transgressing people.
Section 11, the hypocrites. Those who were left behind were glad on account of their sitting behind Allah's messenger, and they were averse to striving in Allah's way with their property and their persons, and said, Go forth in the heat. Say, the fire of hell is fiercer in heat. If only they could understand. Then let them laugh a little and weep much, a recompense for what they earn. So if Allah brings thee back to a party of them, then they ask thy permission to go forth, say, Never shall you go forth with me, and never shall you fight an enemy with me. You choose to sit at home the first time, so sit now with those who remain behind, and never offer prayer for any one of them who dies, nor stand by his grave. Surely they disbelieved in Allah and his messenger, and they died in transgression. And let not their wealth and their children excite thy admiration. Allah only intends to chastise them thereby in this world, and that their souls may depart while they are disbelievers. And when a chapter is revealed, saying, Believe in Allah and strive hard along with his messenger, the wealthy among them ask permission of thee and say, Leave us behind, that we may be with those who sit at home. They prefer to be with those who remain behind, and their hearts are sealed so they understand not. But the messenger and those who believe with him strive hard with their property and their persons. And these it is for whom the good things, and these it is who are successful. Allah has prepared for them gardens wherein flow rivers. To abide therein there is great achievement. Section 12, the hypocrites. And the defaulters from among the dwellers of the desert came that permission might be given to them. And they sat at home, who lied to Allah and his messenger. A painful chastisement will afflict those of them who disbelieve. No blame lies on the weak, nor on the sick, nor on those who can find nothing to spend, if they are sincere to Allah and his messenger. There is no way to blame against the doers of good, and Allah is forgiving, merciful. Nor on those to whom, when they came to thee, that thou shouldest mount them, thou didn't say, I cannot find that on which to mount you. They went back while their eyes overflowed with tears of grief that they could not find aught to spend. The way to blame is only against those who ask permission of thee, though they are rich. They have chosen to be with those who remain behind, and Allah has sealed their hearts, so they know not. Praise be to Allah. That is part number 10. Part number 10. We got over 250 people tuned in right now, reading with us. All praise is due to Allah. If you have anything that you would like to share, go ahead and press the number 3 at this time. If you have anything that stood out to you that you would like to share, go ahead and press the number 3 at this time. We'll call on you. Let's start off with Brother King Cam.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Are you on Bluetooth?
I am.
Yeah, it'd be better if you come off Bluetooth.
Okay. All right, hold on. All right, just come back to me.
Okay. Brother Jamil.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, family. Ramadan Mubarak.
Salam.
There's two ayahs that stand out to me in Surah 8, ayah 65 and 66. If I'm permitted to just read it real quick and then explain what I want to explain, if that's okay,
Yes, sir.
brother. It says, O prophet, urge the believers to fight. If there be of you 20 steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be of you 100, they shall overcome 1,000 of those who disbelieve, because they are people who do not understand. Verse 66, now Allah has lightened your burden, and he knows that there is weakness in you. So if there be of you 100 steadfast, they shall overcome 200. And if there be of you 1,000, they shall overcome 2,000 by Allah's permission. And Allah is with the steadfast. What comes to mind for me is, we know and understand that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is on his way to take his journey. Praise be to Allah, right? And oftentimes we may wonder, well, I know I've in the past wondered, well, what do we do after this? How do we move forward? And the minister constantly reminds us, we're going to keep marching forward. We're going to hold on to the band of Islam, and we got our law on our side to overcome whatever obstacles is in our past. And if we notice, verse 65 speaks about 20 steadfast overcoming 200. And then look at the mercy of Allah in verse 66. He understands there's going to be some of us that may be weak-hearted, may tremble a little bit when we face with a certain number. And he changes that mathematical equation into saying that if there's 100 steadfast, they shall overcome 200, right? So it helps me to understand that if I just hold on to Allah, as the minister always directs us to and leans us towards Allah, we're going to be victorious, because Allah promises this, and Allah does not lie. He doesn't have the ability to lie. All praise to Allah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Brother King Cam.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. So, what stood out to me was in ayat Surah 9, ayat 24, where it says, say, if your fathers and your sons and your brethren and your wives and your kinsfolk and the wealth you have acquired in trade whose dullness you fear and dwellings you love are dearer to you than Allah and his messenger and striving in his way, then wait till Allah brings his command to pass, and Allah guides not the transgressing people. That stood out to me because, oftentimes we profess our faith, and we will even strive in practicing our faith, but there comes a point in time where Allah and his messenger may ask you or command us to do that things that we love may not agree with. Our families, our friends, our job. It may conflict with what Allah and his messenger is asking us to do. And it may also cause us or want us to
go off of the path a little bit. And in this surah and verse, Allah is saying that if you love those things, if those things are dearer to you than Allah and His Messenger and striving in His way, then wait till Allah brings His command to pass, and Allah guides not the transgressing people. So if you allow your family, your friends, your desires, your wealth, your job, those things to become dearer to you than Allah and His Messenger and striving in His way, then you become a part of the transgressing people, and Allah guides not the transgressing people. So I thought that was important, because sometimes we will bend and we will concede because our family and friends think a certain type of way, or they don't agree with what Allah and His Messenger have given us to do. But it lets us know that we become a part of the transgressing people if we operate that way. And then also in Surah 9:30 through 32, where Allah just clears up the how after Allah has sent down His messages through His messengers, others come with a different interpretation. So in verse 30, it says, and the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. These are the words of their mouths. They imitate the saying of those who disbelieved before. Allah's curse be on them and how they are turned away. They take their doctors of law and their monks for lords besides Allah, and also the Messiah, son of Mary, and they were enjoined that they should serve one God only. There is no God but He, but be He glorified from what they set up with Him. They desire to put out the light of Allah with their mouths, and Allah will allow nothing save the perfection of His light, though the disbelievers are averse. So when we listen, there's a difference between the scripture and doctrine. So when people interweave the scripture with their doctrine, then if you know the clear way through Allah and His Messenger, then you can hear when people are interjecting in their doctrine, their doctrinal teaching. So that's why it says they take their doctors of law and their monks for lords besides Allah. Earlier in the Quran, it says that there are a party of them who changed and altered the words of Allah. This is what is taking place, and this is what we are being shown in these particular passages. That taking Ezra for the son of Allah, or Jesus, the son of Mary, as the son of Allah, is incorrect. And that is doctrine that has been put forth by disbelievers. So it lets us know that they desire to put out the light of Allah with their mouths, even though Allah wants to perfect His light and will perfect His light, though the disbelievers are averse. So it's beautiful that Allah helps to clear that and make it clear for us to understand, because without this, you can become confused, but you'll also end up a disbeliever and following the wrong way. So those are the things that stood out to me. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for sharing. Brother Jamil brought up the minister's departure as every day that goes by, we all getting closer to our day. But I wanted to share something, a clip. My clip got since it started to tinkle. So I wanted to share something with you all, because I know there's probably a lot of new people on here who have not heard the guidance of the minister, as he's prepared us for many, many years for such a time. But, some are still in a state of not knowing what to do when a minister departs. Man, what am I going to do? Man, what are we going to do? How are we going to survive? How are we going to do this? And I just want to share what the minister thinks about that attitude, so that hopefully if you have that attitude after you leave this Zoom today, you have a different attitude. Check it out.
And you Muslims, if I hear you talking stupid, the minister's leaving. The minister's leaving. gonna do? You sound foolish. And you sound like a disbeliever in God. God is not going anywhere. He will be with you as you are with me. He's not going to leave you alone. What are we going to do? What are you doing now? Just keep doing it, but do it better.
Plain and simple.
Praise be to Allah.
Just
Thank you so
keep
much for
doing
that,
it.
brother.
Praise be to Allah. Just keep doing it, man. But do it better. There are those of us, you know, when you hear about Jesus at the Last Supper, they say how he gave these different pieces of bread and things of that nature. You know, each and one of us have a unique attribute that Allah is allowing us to perfect in such a way. We may not encompass them all. You know, we may not have all the attributes, but there's something in you, there's something in you, there's something in you. And when we unite, because it is Allah that makes the minister who he is, that's what we have to remember. It is Allah who he worships. It is Allah who he prays to. It is Allah who he strives to take us to. So he says Allah isn't going anywhere. He says, I'm a young God in the classroom of God. Well, we too are young gods in the classroom of God. Yes, there are degrees. But when the minister does something, we don't say all praise is due to Minister Farrakhan. No, we say all praise is due to Allah because it is the eternal wisdom that's in the minister, the spirit that's in the minister that makes him who he is. Just like that's what makes us who we are, because he shares his gift. Allah shares his gift with us, his wisdom with us. We are God's force and power. We don't have to only be successful if a finite body is present, because that's what our body is. It's finite. This is gonna go, but there's an infinite or infinite wisdom that's inside that we can still tap into even when the minister isn't here. So the minister says, I have a personal relationship with God. Now another clip is coming to my head. Now I'm even saying that. He says, I have a personal relationship with God, and he encourages us to get a personal relationship with God. So even with your, we done heard the minister say, even with your husband. It was a clip he said the other day. He said, oh, my baby's gone. He said, as long as you got life, your baby ain't gone. So he's constantly reminding us, man, seek refuge in Allah. I mean, hey, ain't no seeking refuge in me. Yeah, he said, oh, ain't no seeking refuge in me. Don't think your life is over if your husband leave, your wife leave, your mama gone, your daddy go, because everybody gonna have to go in some, whether if it's through them leaving or them dying. But if we have that intimate relationship with Allah and understand the minister's role as a vessel to bring us closer to Allah, then it's like we know what to do. What he already been telling us to do, what he already been guiding us to do. Now we just have to unite now, because he may have dropped some wisdom on you that I wouldn't know to get. Now I need you to, in that dark hour, I'm gonna need you to be sharing it, feed it. Then he gave some wisdom to you, or you saw a lecture that I didn't see, and I saw some that you didn't see, and through us coming together, that wisdom is still here. It ain't just in him. We ain't got to wait on him to say it. No, he done already, man, he's empty. Empty. He done all the wisdom he got. That's going to be the time for us to start strengthening, should be now, but even then, strengthening the brotherhood, the sisterhood, so that when you're going through something, a brother can say, man, I remember when I was going through something like that, and the minister told me, da-da-da-da, I'm hearing him through you. So much it says, I've been among you all this time. You ain't seen the Father. Now we know that's talking about, but I'm just saying the principle of it. Shoot, if I'm in submission, if I'm here and I carry that wisdom, shoot, he's still here through us. We say the hashtag we are far come, but how far is that? How far do we want to go with that? So just wanted to point that out and share that. So hopefully we can continue this. That's why the power call is what the power call is, by the way. It started off as Ramadan, but I said, well, man, this is a cool little thing here. We reading the Quran, and then we able to hear different perspectives of the believers giving their understanding on what they just read. Because I may see something or I may not see something. And another believer could say, hey, man, back in 1981, the minister broke down what that meant. Oh, man, thank you. You know, we may be reading something. I'm interpreting a certain way. You say, man, shoot, back in 2018, I heard the minister break that scripture down. And he was, oh, man. So I'm starting to see, I saw, man, we read this here. We can do this with the lectures. We can do this even after Ramadan, where we all able to continue to be as a community and share with each other, because they say when that dark time comes, 3 years, trying years, oh, we gonna have to be together. You better strengthen brotherhood. Ain't nobody gonna be wanting to, share no bean soup with somebody who they don't know. You better. It's gonna be a good time to get us some friends. I don't know how we think this is gonna go. This is me speaking. This brother being speaking. I ain't speaking for nobody else. When we say, oh man, it's gonna be 3 trying years, 3 hard years when a minister departs, boy. I'm like, bro, we better start getting to like each other. Come on, man. Keep it real. The minister's here and people don't like each other. You think you just gonna be willingly helping people who you don't like? Man, I don't care how Muslim we is, we still black now. We can fake it all we want to. Oh yeah, we can fake it all you want to. We still black now. I ain't finna send that nigga no cash out. There ain't nigga sing ain't never assalamu alaikum to me. Come on now. We gonna be real? So this is the time for us to start, okay, that's sister so, okay, that's brother so, and start gelling with each other. So when it get dark, man, we already got a strong brotherhood. It ain't gonna be the minister gone. We just gonna wake up one day, oh, I felt it upon my spirit. It's time to come together now. No, man, this is a real reality. We already done learned, ain't no spook God. So that's why we got to, keep this thing going, shoot and talk. It's people now when we at Savior's Day, because you talk on the Zoom, they're like, oh, that's sister. Oh, that go brothers. Oh, what's going on, brother? Man, when you be giving that feedback, brother, man, that builds. I know some of y'all don't be wanting to talk. Some of y'all don't want to engage. I'm just giving you some ideas now. Shoot, So I'm hoping if I'm going through something, man, somebody say, man, I'll help you out, little brother. I'm hoping, I done enough work. I done sacrificed enough. Y'all know the money I done spent. If I'm going through it, somebody will say, man, let me help that brother out. So, we want to give, you want to add value. Man, if you don't like to talk, man, shoot, add some commentary in the Zoom. Help, because the minister said when you take care of the people as if you're serving God, when you going through it, shoot, God will serve you basically through them. So, man, we got to do some work. We got to, put some value out there. So when you going through it, somebody can give you value back. Ain't going to be no spooky just when the minister gone, everybody just automatically we get the ringing of the ear and everybody like each other all of a sudden. No, man, that's TV show. That's a cartoon or something. Okay, let's go to the next person. I ain't got to wait. Let's go back to, man, I got fired up. All right, let's go to, is it Sister Brianna?
Oh, praise Jesus. Assalamu alaikum, fine folk. Ramadan Mubarak.
Alaikum salam.
Man, so there are 3 things that stood out. The first one was Surah 9, ayat 6, where it says, and if anyone of the idolaters seek thy protection, protect him till he hears the word of Allah. Then convey him to his place of safety. This is because they are people who know not. And I instantly thought.
You on mute. You muted yourself.
Sorry. Okay. I instantly thought about the restricted law, page 78, where it's talking about how there are people who wanted to harm the messenger or kill the messenger, and they said, and people would ask like, who is this person? Like, who are they? So the messenger would never. Now I'm reading. So the messenger would never tell us who the hypocrite was, but the person was back in the mosque where they belonged. I was like, oh. The messenger then said, sometimes after they get a chastisement, they come back stronger and better. And that stood out so much because how are we Muslims saying that we want for our brother or sister, we want for ourselves, and when someone does wrong, even as wrong as wanting to kill the messenger, then we want to harm them? That's not Islamic. That is not our Islam, right? And it says where they belong. They belong here, whether they know it or not, or even after they do a fault. Because would we want to be chastised for wrongdoings? Now, granted, theirs was a very heavy chastisement or heavy wrongdoing, but they got chastised, and they may come back better and stronger. So that was page 78 of the restricted law. That's exactly what I thought about when I read that section. I have two more. Surah 9, ayat 8, where it says they would please you with their mouths while their hearts refuse. And most of them are transgressors. It made me think about how some of us can talk a great word. Great word. Know all the surahs, can point you to this book and that book, but in the heart, like you really don't mean it. Right? You just want to be known of men, or you just want people to think you know something, or think that we know something other than just actually having that in us, right? Just doing good for good because you're good. And the last one that stood out, this is like one of my favorite ones, Surah 9, ayat 42, where it says, had it been a near gain in a short journey, they would certainly have followed thee. But the hard journey was too long for them. And they will swear by Allah, if we had been able, we would have gone forth with you. They caused their own souls to perish, and Allah knows what that they are liars. Oof. I really enjoy that surah a lot because it makes me think of the race is not to the swift nor the strong, but to those who can endure until the end. And we're fighting for Islam, and we will surely win. Like we already know. So we just have to stay strong when the time comes. And even when things are happening, like yesterday, I was really sad. I was crying and all that. And if I'm upset, I allow myself to feel it. So I gave myself 20 minutes to just be upset. Right? Because I don't want to run for the emotion. I don't want to hide it because then I have to deal with it later. No, so I'd rather deal with it when I'm feeling it, allow myself to feel it, but I know myself also. It's very important to know ourselves. Since I know myself, I now can turn myself around, after I allowed myself to feel that. And last thing is we're taught that we have to have patience because we can make it to the gates of the hereafter and turn right back around. So yeah, we're strong. That's not enough. Right? The race is not to the swift nor the strong, but to those who can endure until the end. Praise be to Allah. Thank you.
Praise be to Allah. Sister Tornisa?
Assalamualaikum. I was hold on. I was reading the idolaters, section 3, chapter 9, section 3, ayat 17, the whole section. And one of the things it talked about, the idolaters have no right to maintain the mosque, and sometimes we see different people and we don't even understand that. But it tells us they don't have the right. However, only he could maintain the mosque of Allah who believes in Allah in the last day and keeps up prayer and pays the poor rate and fears none but Allah. So these it is who may be of the guided ones. So it's giving us information and telling us where to go, and look at the people that's believing, and only those are the ones who can maintain the mosque. It talks about also that the Lord Allah would give us rewards and blessings if we are keeping up prayer and pay the poor rate. So we can't just say, okay, I'm a believer and I just go to the mosque. No, we got to do things. We can't just be idle or be at marked time. And it says, just because your father believed in certain different things doesn't mean that that's the right way. So those that are in Islam and their parents may be Christians or whatever, don't feel like that's your way because your mom went that way or your father went that way. Allah is telling us where we need to go and how we need to do it. So you get up and you make prayer. A lot of times we say, okay, we just make dua, we stand up and make prayer. No, we're supposed to bow down with those that bow down. So we can't negate prostration. We can't negate that by saying, oh, I just pray in my bed. Now, it's not saying that, you can't do that. But if you able body, you get up and you make your prayer, submission to Allah. Then what made sense to me was those that says they take their doctors of law, and we're looking at still chapter 9, but the section 5, Surah 31. They take their doctors of law and monks for laws besides Allah. Then I looked up the word monks, and it talks about Buddhism and different people that stay by themselves or one or two people, and they have their own mindset of what they feel. But we need to, and then they just pray. But are you getting up to do something with your prayers? And then we look at these doctors that's administering these shots, and we don't even look at God and say, let me pray to Allah, let me pray to the God of the worlds of the universe and ask, what should I be doing? We automatically are taking these doctors as law. And then we get the shots and we get these different things and we go, oh my God, now my son or my daughter's autistic because we didn't take enough time to ask God. And even though I was teaching and I was giving people information who would call me, I'm like, no, the minister said this and listen to this. And they told me, oh, I got the shot because I want to go on vacation. I got the shot because I got to go take a job. And then you got laid off from the job. They didn't even care for you to keep you as a as a worker. So now you got that shot. Now I'm getting phone calls. Oh, what do I do to detox my body from it? It's a scary thing. People have lost friendships, family members because of this shot. And it's, I've lived getting shots, but and I know what it is not to give shots by raising my daughter. So you see these different things, and is we have to be mindful of that they are not law. And now they're saying, oh, we didn't tell you to take the shot. But that's not true. They force people's hands to take the shot so they lose their livelihood. People was living in cars that decided I didn't want to take the shot. They lost their homes. So that's one of the things that stuck out to me. And the last thing that stuck out to me, um, give charity. Charity is for the poor. Surah 9, Section 8, verse 60. Zakat, charity. We hold on to stuff. We don't want to give to people that's asking us for stuff. I know I've been there. And my baby girl had to remind me. I seen somebody at the gas station. I said, we don't have no time. And Talia was just like, Mommy, we gotta give them money. We gotta give her some charity. And I felt so guilty that I drove back around the block and the sister wasn't there. And I had to apologize to my daughter because I'm teaching her that, right? And sometimes we such in a rush and we forget that. And we can't go give with reproach. You give the money. Don't, oh, I'm not giving you because you're going to do drugs. And you don't know what that person is going to do. You have no idea. If you're going to give, just give because it's for those who are working. And look at them with the government. They don't want to give us nothing, but they got the money and we are in debt and they're in debt to us. And so now we don't have no money and they don't want to give it to us, but they have the money. And the law is saying you're a hypocrite if you have and you don't want to give out of what I had given you. You didn't get this money just because. I'm allowing you to work. I'm allowing you to eat. But then we take from ourselves and we don't want to give nobody nothing. And if we do give to somebody, we talk about it. Then don't give it. That's the hypocrite. So we got to be mindful that are we giving because we want somebody to see us giving? Or are we doing it out the kindness of our heart? And then nothing have to be said and it goes to your grave and no one knows nothing, but you just gave. And Allah is the best knower. It is He who knows your heart. So when you give, don't give a reproach. Don't give, oh, I gave that nigga this, or I gave that sister that, and feel that you have to let somebody know that you're doing this. No. Where's your heart? Are you a hypocrite? That's all I want to say. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak.
Walaikum salam. Brother Daniel.
Yes, sir. I'll start with the just the chapter itself in the opening. Of course, this is the only chapter out of all 114 surahs in the Holy Quran that does not open up with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And I heard Mother Tanetta say, and the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan, that the reason that it doesn't open up with such is because the hypocrite does nothing in the name of Allah. I also was looking at the fact that this is day 10, and they say that Ramadan is divided up in 3 parts: mercy, forgiveness, and then the purification from hell. So it's interesting that on the 10th day, which deals with mercy, we go into the chapter called the Declaration of Immunity or the Hypocrite. So it says to me that we would have to cleanse ourselves of any of these signs of hypocrisy, wherein we would be shown the mercy of Allah. Brother Jabril did say that hypocrisy is that disease that we would have to fight and get rid of to make it. So I'll look at, I think it's ayat 4. No, I'll leave that. I'll just go right to the end part. 975 through 77. And it reads, and of them are those who made a covenant with Allah. If he gives us out of his grace, we will certainly give alms and be of the righteous. But when he gave them out of his grace, they became niggardly of it, and they turned away, and they are averse. So he requited them with hypocrisy in their hearts to the day when they meet him, because they broke their promise with Allah, and because they lied. I'm going to reflect on these words from what the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said in a message called The Evil of the Hypocrite Within. And these were the verses that he used. And he said that in these verses, that this group of persons, they were not hypocrites, but they had a covenant with Allah. And when Allah gave them what they were looking for, then they became niggardly. So he said that Allah requited them with hypocrisy in their heart because they lied and broke their covenant. This particular verse hit me real hard because I was going through a great trial at this time, and I was thinking and feeling so that I had broke my covenant, that I didn't keep my word, because the trial I was going through was causing me to be, I would say, a weak Muslim. And I can remember what the minister said in Savior's Day, that weak Muslims were his enemy. So that makes me think that this chapter is dealing with those signs of weaknesses that we will find in ourselves as striving Muslims. And it would be best to fulfill our covenant with the God, not stay in that weakness. But when we read something or come across something that shows a weakness, we should fight it. We should go at it. I'll close with these words. During the War of Armageddon, the minister didn't open up with the Bismillah, and there was a lot of talk at that time because the minister had never opened up a message and not said in the name of Allah, okay, in the person of Master Muhammad. So it was a lot of talk on it. Even student Minister Ishmael taught on it. And it had been said that the reason he did that is because he was dealing with the disease of hypocrisy in the people. And I would look at that and think that in the war of Armageddon, the ball is in my court to fight that war within self and to fight the hypocrisy of self and to come out victorious. I think someone mentioned that we're always looking on the outside of ourselves, but that great jihad, that internal fight, is the fight that we would have to fight, is the fight that we would have to win to escape much of what we're reading in Surah 9 and be of those who live our lives in the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful. Thank you, fam.
Praise be to Allah. Let's go to Brother Antone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I pray that we all is firmly founded on these three articles of our faith. And Minister Ishmael taught on this. And if we not firmly founded on these 3 points, then the idolaters and the hypocrites will be able to knock us off our square and cause us to fall into unbelief. And when the minister depart, this is going to be the determining factor, because we already know the first test we had, and then we got another examination coming up. But he taught on the 3 points, and he said that the first point is belief in Allah being man, and that Master Fard Muhammad is the supreme being and is a man. He said the second point is the belief that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is physically alive, just like me and you. We physically alive, but he on the mother plane. And the third point is the belief that when the minister depart, he's still going to be physically alive and join with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the mothership. And the minister been telling us for years, even if they come up with a body, that's not me. And he told us too, and he been telling us this, repeating it over and over again, that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him that the next time you come to the mothership, that I will allow you to see me face to face. And since the minister been teaching us that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is physically alive, then we should already know that when the minister depart, it ain't the end of him. He's still physically alive, because he's been telling us that he is going to see the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad face to face. And we already know that once this physical body go in the dirt, that's it. So you ain't finna be seeing nobody face to face if you're not still physically alive. And we really got to be founded on that point, because that's gonna be the points of attack. Those gonna be the points of attack, and I already see it beforehand. Like on Facebook, they had a little post, and it went into a whole rant about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it was the way it was worded. They was wording it like it was some of his personal family members saying that he physically dead, he ain't alive, he did see that. And that was a post on Facebook under the name of somebody you would think is somewhere in the ranks. But we really gotta have that under our belt, because if we don't, If we don't have that, we're gonna be defeated. And that's gonna draw a line on who the believers are and who is those who disbelieve or is not believers. So we really got to do what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told us. He told us, listen to the minister. When you see him, look at him. When you hear him, listen to him. And he been telling us time and time again that when he depart, he is not going to be dead. He's returning to the wheel so he can get repaired and get his body renewed and all that. And it bring me to a vision that Allah blessed me to see in my sleep. Like Allah say, take your soul on a journey at night. And he showed me standing in front of the minister. It was supposed to be his body washing, where they was preparing his body for a janazah. But when I'm standing there and I'm looking at the body they washing, it's not the minister. It was a body that looked like it could have been a minister, but he looked only like he was maybe in his 30s or something. It wasn't really his body. And the minister done told us that even if they come up with produce a body, that's not me. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, sir.
Alaikum salam. I don't know who iPhone is. Sorry, y'all, I don't have a queue today, so I'm kind of scrolling through a lot of comments. There's somebody, Brother Remus.
Yes, sir, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Something like family. Yeah, wow. Ew. Yeah, the immunity, chapter 9. I think it's made up in 20 and 27, right? It's twice. But yeah, and it's really a continuation of chapter 8, Surah 8, if you look at the footnotes. Yeah, y'all, this is a good one. Is it possible that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is physically alive? You know, it's funny, when I grew up in the Catholic Church, Jesus lives is what we used to say. And we knew 2,000 years ago, this man wasn't walking around here. Kind of knew that, but it was like, no, he lives. It's something about the words, the most Elijah Muhammad is dead, and something about this idea, the most Elijah Muhammad is alive. It does something to the energy of a person like Brother Antoine. And Brother Antoine was just saying that to say, oh, your mama did, or your grandmama did, or they did, it's almost like the whole idea of them is dead. And that's a real dangerous thought. Because when I look at the minister standing the nation back up with these words, it's Savior's Day, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive. What that did to the believers, what it did to the enemies, what it did to the devils. It's something about that. And then in all of us, whenever an idea in us dies, we give up on an idea. Oh, it's an ugly sight. It's a very terrible thing. Does that idea live in you? Does it live in me? Is Minister Farrakhan alive and well in Remus? And to deal with whatever the situation is, because like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this idea of, man, that person is alive now, the idolater. They did. If you're an idolatrous, an idolater, you did. You know, believing in this, believing in that. My hope is in this. My hope is in that. Oh, that nice shiny emerald necklace is. Oh, as long as I have that, man, I'm powerful, man. And oh, that money. Oh, that $1 million bank account. Oh, I'm good. You ain't really believing. You can't say being it is, because if that's gone, you can't do that no more. But if you believing in spite of, triple darkness, not double darkness, not single darkness, but triple darkness. You don't have no way out in your mind, but your mind says, "Ah, we can do this. Oh, we got that, brother Ben. Oh, that idea right there. Oh man, the best practices of this and that is what's needed over here. That's all that's needed. Man, that right there, that barren desert. Man, look at Las Vegas. That was nothing there. All it takes is the right idea, the right spark, the right inspiration. So then nothing gonna happen until somebody get excited. And if you're thinking it's dead, nothing's gonna happen. If you're thinking you're not gonna meet up with that thing and you don't understand, then you be like, oh man, see, I thought it was gonna actually be, and you done short-sighted yourself. You done got to a point where you thought you had the full understanding, and now you judged it, and now it ain't like you thought it was gonna be, and now you thought everything was gonna be hunky-dory after a certain point, and everything was just gonna fall out the sky, and the white man just wiped him, he just walked off the planet and went into the ocean and just died, and so now we just take over. You thought it was gonna be an easy, quick journey? Oh, who lied to you? Who put that thought in your head in orientation class? Who gave you the idea that this thing is a 100-yard dash? We good at the sprints, but no. This is about 100 marathons back to back. So bring your water. Oh no. This is a nonstop situation, and you're gonna get tired. And if you laughing at the one on the side of the road that's taking a deep breath, just wait another 20, 30 miles. You're gonna see why they're on the side over there taking a deep breath. And maybe it's 20, 30 years. Are you laughed at those that was in front of you? Because now, my brother Whitehead, if you know brother Whitehead, shoot, you've been alive as long as him, standing on these truths. These bodies is fragile. You know what I'm saying? So eating to live in a food desert when all they got around, I don't know if we got a time limit, brother Ben. I go, you have to put it, you have to what they do at the Harlem, they bring that little hook out. You're gonna have to exercise that because this truth and this treason and this, as we getting further and further into this purification, when you purify, man, that's why it's like, oh, okay, if you intended to kill that person off, oh, they ain't this, they ain't that. You settling on the worst part, that ain't gonna work for you. That ain't gonna work, period, because you gotta want for your brother and sister what you want for yourself. If you don't want for them what you want for yourself, then just know you ain't arrived yet. Just that's an internal checkup from the neck up. No, you've been bitten by a snake of try to kill a brother off, kill a sister off. Yeah, that came from somewhere. That devil was good at implanting that idea when we was babies, feeding us the wrong food, the wrong idea. You see what I'm saying? You have one right next to you that's, you don't even know who the hell they are. They busy handling this business and they don't have much. But you over here judging. You over here looking at them, how come? Yeah, they started with nothing. But somehow they got 10 years in, Brother Ben. But they didn't have nothing along the way. But Allah kept, here go a little bit, here go a little bit more. Let me keep rewarding you, because if I don't reward you with something, you're gonna be out of here. So, but it's that little carrot got to keep being dangled. But internally, when you get to a point where we all striving to get to where Allah is, you see, yeah, Allah lives. It lives. And do we kill off that hypocrite in self? Do we kill off that little thought? Hey, get behind me. Some brothers and sisters is fighting they you know what off to be here another day, to keep smiling another day, to in spite of some stuff. You know what I mean? So you might want to kind of put the judgment thing over there on the side and get busy, because there's a lot to do. So I'll drop the mic right there, but man, keep it going, brother Ben.
Praise be to Allah. I think it's is it Roger?
Can you hear me, Brother Ben?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm coming from Surah 9. I'm reading from a different version of the Quran, but it's Surah 9, verses 12, 16, and then I'm going to 71 and 72. Do you think that you will be left alone without trial, while Allah has not yet verified which of you had exerted your utmost struggle in the path to Allah, and did not take any intimate friends other than Allah, His Rasul, and the believers? Allah is well aware of all your actions. In 71, 72, The true believers, both men and women, are protectors of one another. They enjoin what is good and forbid what is evil. They establish salat, prayer, pay zakat, obligatory charity, and obey Allah and His Rasul. It is they on whom Allah will have His mercy. Surely Allah is mighty wise. Allah has promised the believers, both men and women, gardens beneath which rivers flow to live therein forever, and they will have beautiful mansions in these gardens of everlasting bliss. Best of all, they will have the good pleasure of Allah. Now that is the highest achievement. And with me reading these surah, Brother Ben, I came into the teachings through my incarceration. And I'm 41 now, and I really came into the teachings almost 20 years ago. I always come back to the Quran because I came up, Baptist, and people be like, man, I thought the brother said he a mud. He gone back to jail. And every time I go to jail, first thing I do is pick up the Quran, which I do pick up the Quran on the street, but slipping, you know what I'm saying? Slip, get locked back up. But one thing I never did was say nobody like, hey, I'm not a Muslim no more. I turn away. I just continue to seek God. Like that's the whole point. You have to continue seeking Him to get the understanding. And so I'm an 80 baby. When I came to the teaching, they had a tape of the Quran. Or the minister. Now we have YouTube. I have watched so many YouTube clips of this man lectures and picked up so many things. I have 3 versions of the Quran, 2 versions of the Bible. When you watch the minister goes to that whiteboard and start breaking stuff down. And that's what we have to do. And that's what I had to understand. Like, oh, it ain't about just me reading. If I see a word and I don't know what the word means, boom, I got my dictionary. Because that's what the minister do. You know what I'm saying? You can't just read, okay, I got it, boom, and go on about today. Nah, what did that word just mean that you just read? I have to go see, break that down, and then go on to the next thing. So all I'm trying to say, really, I got so much to say because I really been soaking up so much information. You have a clip of the minister on your Instagram where he say sometimes you have to fall back and see wisdom, because once you get the wisdom, that's how you can obtain things. Like I had so much money, but I never was fulfilling nothing. I have kids, and I think, and I all praise to a lot of my boys understand, like my dad at work. They don't know why I was going to jail. They just know I went to jail. But all my boys say they want to get a job. They not trying to be like these guys in the videos chasing this fast money. They look like, Dad, I'm finna put the application in, such. And I've been feeling down on myself, like, man, what have I done for my boys? And I keep going in and out of jail. Luckily, they see me work. So they know my dad at work. If he not working, something wrong, and that's how he get in trouble. That's when I step away from the Quran. When you not in this word, when you not study seeking, what can you expect but to go the wrong way? And that's why he say right there, do you think that you will be left alone without trial while Allah has not yet verified which of you had exerted your utmost struggle in the path of Allah? You have to strive. You have to strive. And that's all I'm trying to do. That's all I really want to say right now. Like I say, I keep watching so many tapes. I have so much to say and so much to do now because I know I have to figure out and put this mission together of what to do, you know what I'm saying, raising my boys to make sure they don't have to go to prison to get this. It's already out here. You don't have to go to jail to learn. Like you say, we have to give the people our experience, you know what I'm saying, to keep them from going, to keep them on the right path. And with that being said, I pay. Assalamu alaikum.
Lake Salam. Praise be to Allah. Man, I think one of the greatest things that we can discover in life is our aim and our purpose. Our aim and our purpose is almost like a protection for us. And when I was younger, I used to always say that I was so in love with my purpose that peer pressure wasn't strong enough. And if we can encourage our young people to discover what their gift is and what their purpose is, they'll be so locked in on it that to take that away would be something tragic for them. Like basketball for me growing up was my purpose to me. Man, it's what I want to be. I want to be the greatest at this. You know, that was fed, it was encouraged. So anybody who thought about, man, let's go smoke, let's go do this, the purpose was a opposing thought in my mind. Like, if you do that, then that's going to hinder this. And I think there's just so many people in the world, as the minister said, walking without an aim and a purpose. Because the purpose grounds us. It's like puts a seatbelt on us. Man, I'm so focused on this. I'm so focused on achieving this goal. I'm so excited to get up in the morning and achieve this goal. And then striving to achieve that goal, you know, I'm going through trials, I'm going through struggle. I'm able to exercise what I'm reading. I'm able to exercise patience and overcoming difficulty and the struggle for balance, all of the different study guides, man. But I encourage us all, man, to really strive to find out why I'm living. Why am I here? Why am I here? And I just think there's so many people living just to make money, you know, pay a bill, and we're not fulfilled. We're not fulfilled because we go to work, make some money, come home, pay a bill, may go out on the weekend, may do a vacation here and there, but it's something that's missing. It's something that's missing. And once I find that thing that wakes me up in the morning, man, I strive to never do anything to jeopardize that which I have found the purpose for which I'm living. So when we walk in the earth without an aim and a purpose, sometimes we dead. There's no purpose. There's nothing that I'm striving for. The ministers in belief in Allah says some of us don't even have a worthy goal. And I made a post the other day that was like, you know, when you feel dead on the inside, of course it's easy to kill someone else because you feel dead. You already dead. So when I look in the mirror, I'm dead. So if I look at you and you a reflection of me, nigga, you nothing. I have no second thought about, you know, doing anything to you. You know, so we look at we had a big tragic thing happen out here in Dallas. And I said to myself, I said, man, you know, so many young people don't know how to express themselves. We as adults don't know how to express ourselves. So imagine somebody who's under the age of 25, whose brain isn't even fully developed, what's in their head. When they've never been asked, man, how do you feel today? When they've never been asked, are you okay? When they've never been told, tell me about it, I'm listening. Simple things. When they've been cussed out all their life, take your mother, getting that got, come on now. They don't even have words to explain. Shoot, I struggle with that. When it comes to feelings, I may say something saying I think versus how I actually feel. So how does that frustration come out when he's frustrated? When he's mad and he doesn't know how to handle his emotions? What does he say? Who does he talk to? When now he feels that those who were supposed to protect him are maybe oftentimes in the hood, unfortunately, those who abused him. So where's the safety to be able to be vulnerable? So now when it's time to even express those type of emotions, he ain't finna tell it to somebody else who may now use it to abuse him. There's no safety there to share that. So we walking around and we look at a person and we say they walking, okay, they talking, okay, their eyes is open. But man, are they really living? Are they really living? Are they really sane just because, they appear to be able to answer a question, answer what their name is? Are they really well mentally? They're a walking time bomb, waiting on something to trigger them, and all that stuff that has not been known. I don't know how to get this out. I don't know where the pain, I'm feeling it here. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know who to express it to. Even if I had somebody to express it to, I don't know how to express it, and they may not have the patience to even show me how to express it. So now, boom, something happens and it blows up, and the world says, I can't believe he did this. But this is a little boy trapped on the inside saying, man, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, I'm abused. I don't know how to express this. So it's a lot of work, man, that gotta take place, man. And that they gotta happen. So imagine a person, a little brother, a little sister like that, and they don't even know why they're alive. I don't know what my aim is to be here, man. I ain't got nothing going on. Imagine that. You walking, they walking with all this in their head, all this in their heart, and they don't know their purpose, and they don't know their aim. And people assume that they okay. And when you ask them, you good? Yeah, I'm good. That's the natural response. I'm good. So even if somebody say how you feel, I'm good. Inside they saying, I'm bad. I'm hurting. I'm confused. I'm lost. I don't know who to talk to. Me saying I'm good, that's the defense mechanism. Because most really don't care anyway. So if I say I'm good, you stop right there until somebody notice, no, you ain't good. Let me talk to you. But nobody ever sees them properly. So when they do certain things and actions, we judge them. Not knowing there was really a cry for help because they don't know how to express it with words that they need help. That's why it really takes a redeemer that takes plenty. You called her a hoe. She was really, that was a bid for help. You called him a little hood nigga crazy. Man, he acting out because he need help. Now, what they did and what the action, the symptom, it's not that you just, okay, you're alive, but that is a symptom. If the minister said we are righteous by nature, it's the minister now, righteous by nature, wicked only by circumstance. That means there are circumstances and things that has taken place that makes them, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would say, other than themselves. So if they other than themselves, that means that's not the real them. So if we just deal with the symptom and we only dealing with the reaction of it and we not getting to the root of it, the cause of it, we really not really getting to the root of changing that person. So yeah, man, as we strive to be good examples, as we strive to externally do things, as I'm on like this little journey I'm learning that, man, you got to get to the root of like your mind, your childhood, why you think the way you think. How did you arrive to the way that you think? What happened? What took place? What was your upbringing like? But somebody got to be there to be patient enough to help you navigate that, explain that, express that. Because that's what leads to how you are in 2025. How we all are in some type of way in 2025, probably for most of us, it's stemming from what happened maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago. What things that took place if you haven't dealt with it. That's what makes you your makeup and who you are. So how can you tell a sister to do this and she don't even feel worthy? Oh, you so black and beautiful. Yeah, that sounds good. You don't know what I've been through. My mama called me ugly. My mama rejected me in her womb. I felt that as a baby. And here you is thinking, oh, you a princess. I'm not hearing you. I was abused by my father. This and that. Like, this is what they deal with. Then we don't know. Then we just look at, I can't believe this sister like this. I can't believe it. What our little self-righteous self. Because you pray good. And we eating one meal a day. And you ain't fornicating. You ain't committing adultery. And you ain't lied. And you ain't slandering. Oh, you just, I can't believe that, brother. You don't even know that, brother. You don't even know that sister and what they done been through for real, for real. And that may be better than you. Because they more honest about who they are and what they're going through than you. And what if God looks at you who's so righteous, and the fact that you walk by them and the fact that you look down on them, that may be a bigger sin than what they dealing with because they are doing it out of ignorance. You're supposed to have the knowledge. So I just encourage us to be more patient with each other. I don't know what took me down this rabbit hole, but hopefully somebody needed this and hopefully somebody heard it and it did something for you. But because now I feel like I don't even know why I'm talking about that. But all praise due to Allah. Let's go. I don't know who's next. Let's go to now it's 2 iPhones. Now I don't know who iPhone is. When y'all come on, try to, I don't know how to change it, but you got to change your name from iPhone and Zoom user. So there's in the queue 2 iPhones. So who's the iPhones that wanted to speak? Going once, going twice.
I got an iPhone. Maybe that's me.
We know you got your name.
Oh, my name is here?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I didn't change nothing. Y'all might have changed it.
Yeah, we see Brother Remus on yours.
Oh, let me know when it's my turn.
Well, I don't think I'm iPhone, but
Oh, well, I see a brother. I see Brother Gerald. I don't have a cue today on here. Brother Gerald, so I gotta scroll. Wait, okay, so she put 2. I see a Brother Gerald.
The person that was just talking it does say iPhone. He's outside.
Brother Remus, that was Brother Remus. I see his.
Yeah, I typed in there my name.
Oh, that wasn't Brother Remus?
It was, I was talking, and then brother started talking when I was talking, and so that's what sister probably talking about. So we was both talking, but you thinking about the wrong brother. So yeah, I think she's talking about that brother outside was talking. I was talking, but that other brother jumped in too.
Wait, look at this one. Go ahead, and then I see a Brother Gerald press 3 too. I gotta scroll up. Go ahead.
All right, this is Brother Anthony. The old dinosaur, Brother Remus. And so again, just a couple of things. And for me, real quick, it's more so listening to the comments. So touching on what Sister Tanisha said about the shots and how now they're saying, well, we didn't tell you to take the shots. Well, I think to paraphrase, it says when the devil's confronted, he just simply says, I didn't make them do nothing. I simply called their name. So that, and then also, Brother Ben, it was a conversation that I actually had with my brother yesterday, and we were just talking about our schooling experiences. And for those of us who grew up in Los Angeles in the 70s, we were both products of the forced busing program. And so we had 2 different experiences, the hood school and then the exported, the school where we were sent to. I went to Palisades High School. My brother went to Birmingham High School. And I asked him about the difference in the quality of education. And he said at Birmingham, there was one teacher that forced him to participate. And so that just, again, to Brother Ben, what you were saying is that we got to participate in this thing. And whether or not we are speaking, we're commenting, we're hitting some chat buttons and emojis, but do something, participate, and then share with others that what you have. As a former sales trainer, again, we remember a small percentage of what we hear, a larger percentage of what we write, and the largest percentage of what we then share and teach with others. So we have to talk and share our experiences and whatnot. So the again, to follow back to the shots, I was one of those who, was rebellious and took that shot because I felt I had to work. And less than a year and a half later, I had a stroke in my right eye. Now, whether or not the shot caused it, I don't 100% know, but I do 100% know that I took the shot. So I'll leave it with that. Again, Ramadan Mubarak family, it's such a pleasure to be back and to join in this community. And please, all, let's participate as much as we can find a way to do. Do something. Chat, hit an emoji, read, just do something, as Michelle Obama said during that last, political situation. Just do something. All right, with that, I'll leave you, passing the mic. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. I just seen something. I saw a comment from Brother Roger. And I want to say this. When we're going through something, it's good to find a brother and sister, or sister, whatever the case may be, depending on what you're going through, and share with them possibly, what you're going through. Because if Allah God works through human beings, exposing it to a human being could potentially help you. I was with Captain Dennis one time, and he says, in order to heal, you have to expose and reveal. So get with a brother, get with whomever you need to get with, because we all have gone through different things. And some of us are walking books, if you will. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can find an answer, almost anything in the book, but we're also books, because it took a man to actually write the book. So things that you're struggling with, things that you're going through, somebody done already been through it. Somebody done already been through it, and they can help you navigate it. And sometimes when we strive to do things on our own, that's why I hate, and that's why I don't like that stuff that people say about, you save yourself. I get it, us as a people. But if you interpret that as individually, I disagree with that. Because sometimes you need to lean on a brother or a sister that's a little bit more stronger than you, that can pull. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not going to always be able to do everything on our own. So don't isolate ourselves. Don't go through it alone. Your brother done already went through it for you. And that's going to be something that you go through that you done already went through it for him. And if he just calls on you and lean on you, then you can help him and give the answer. So the same way we go to YouTube for an answer, we go to the library to find a book for an answer. Sometimes your brother or a community can be there to support and help you so that you don't feel like you're alone. Like last year during Ramadan, there's people that stopped smoking weed in here, stop drinking alcohol in here, just because there was a community there to support them, set goals. And when they set goals, there was a community there to watch them and encourage them to hit it. Like that's important. Like I encourage all of us to find like a worthy goal or a community, or have people that is depending on you, that holds you accountable. It just makes you that much better, because now you ain't just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for other people. So if you don't have children, if you don't have a mom that you're doing it for, get in a community, man, and let people encourage you. Have and identify your whys. They say 7 whys. Why am I doing this? I need to make more money. Why? Well, because of my children. Why for your children? Well, because I want to leave a legacy. Why you want to leave a legacy? Man, because I want to be able to Well, why you want to do that? Then you'll get down to the root of your real why, so that when trials come up, when difficulty comes up, what'll happen is you will have more reasons to do it versus reasons not to do it. And it'll be ingrained in your head. Somebody just said 1 year free of smoking weed due to the power call. Praise be to Allah. Salute. Congratulations. I think your lungs will hug you one day. But yeah, I just want to share that, man. Don't go through stuff alone. Tap in with a brother or sister, maybe someone who's in a similar situation or has been through a similar situation. Brother Nuri said one time, there's 2 ways to learn. You can learn from your own experience or you can learn from someone else. And even in the Quran, we have heard, right? We continue to read where it says, go study those. What did it say? Go study those. Go study the end thereof of those who was the mischief makers, of those who was this, of those who was that. In other words, go look at the end of those who doing what you doing, and you finna see what you about to get. So that's the same thing on the opposite side. Go study those who was going through the struggle you going through and they overcame it. Go study them. And if you got access to them, go talk to them because they can help you navigate it. So sometimes life isn't as hard as we make it. It's hard because I'm ignorant about certain areas that other people have some knowledge in, and I just need to ask them the question so they can give me the answer. So the Bible says, you have not because you ask not. I was talking to somebody the other day and I was saying, wow, so many of us say we want to do the work, but what is the work? Mentally, right? Oh man, I'm doing the work, the internal work. Well, what about when we don't know what that work looks like? Man, I want to start working on myself, man, and self-love. What does that look like? How do you practice self-love? What is it? When you grew up in an environment where nobody practiced self-love, nobody taught you what self-love is. I'm working on myself, man. What is the work? What do I do daily? What do I think? Is it journaling? Is it taking myself out? Is it me practicing, my words, what to say, how to voice, how to defend myself, how to set a boundary? What is the work? There's somebody who may know, and you don't realize how helpful it'll be when they just expose to you different tools that we simply didn't have or don't have. Okay. Somebody said, I've been isolated for a while. I thought it was needed, but today is reminding me that I have to get back with the brothers. Yeah, get with the. Now there are some things you probably do. You probably, need to isolate because, Allah may say, hey man, shoot, I want you to just seek refuge and pray with me. But there's a lot of things in our life that, it just makes sense for you to unite with somebody, be able to lean on somebody. Being is the GOAT. No, I ain't the GOAT. I'm striving. I'm striving. I ain't the GOAT yet. Let's go to let's see who's next. Now the two iPhones. When you said two iPhones, Sister Randisha, are you saying there's two people? There's two people that has the thing iPhone, or is literally somebody that's named two iPhones? Two people. Okay, who's the other iPhone? So not the brother that just spoke. There's another iPhone that's in the queue. Okay, let's go to Sister Kenyatta. I'm sorry, Brother Remus.
Yes, sir. There's so much, Brother Ben. I got to bring in Scientology. The minister, Elijah Muhammad, said, wherever he tells you to go, go. Brother Ben, let me ask you a question in front of all these witnesses. Did the minister tell us to go get that Dianetics?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, because I never would have went in that building, Brother Ben, had we not had instructions. And when I've tied it to, I knew it had to do with this mission. I knew it wasn't, Elijah Muhammad don't work. Let's go try this white dude. Come on, man. You lost your damn mind. It's when you understand the pain of a brother that went, why the minister went, to look into, let me see what had a good effect on it. Oh, you mean a brother came and had a failed purpose in his life? When you have a purpose and find a purpose and then you don't fulfill that purpose, that's a whole nother level of pain. Anybody that was with the Most High Elijah Muhammad, I saw brothers, I said it on here before, Brother Ben, pushing baskets over there on Manchester. Antoine know what I'm talking about. Manchester and Figueroa. I said, brother, when did you leave the teachings? Because if you out there with that final call all day on the buses and the trains, you're going to bump into everything you can imagine. Good, bad, indifferent, USC, people, graduates, and right next to brothers trying to kill you. You're going to see everything in about an hour in certain neighborhoods. And let alone a whole day, let alone a whole week, let alone a whole month, let alone a whole year, Brother Anton, let alone like the other brother that spoke, Birmingham. My sister went to Birmingham High School. You see, we know about being bused from Crenshaw and Slauson and over there on that side of town, and now you over here in the valley. See, you done seen so much, man. That's why you got generations. That's why you have individuals that are saying, young brother, I did that already. And you've been the young brother that had 3 or 4 generations that was like, bro, ain't nobody, bro, what do you, ho, young man, come here. That's love. The generation today, you gotta fight them. They thinking you attacking them when you saying, bruh, I got love for you. Do you know the hell behind that? That you want to go to get that community behind the wall? Bro, ain't no future in that. Nobody doing that right now, no more. That's not, you don't want to come back 20 years from now. You may not have that chance. 5 years, 10, just to try to put a notch on your belt. A lot of brothers, because when you have no community at all, the minister said it. He said, "Man, you lock me up. You want my people is behind the wall. Shoot, I be in heaven. I teaching. You talk about you can't put fear in me, devil. You get to a point where it's like either you're gonna kill me or I'm gonna be here. It ain't no other choice. And death becomes sweeter. Not that you want to die, but to be continue to be persecuted, and that moves you inside to go say something, address it, deal with it. Hey, take it or leave it. At the end of the day, you watch people respect that. That's the whole thing with Kendrick and Drake. You don't live that life, Drake. Quit tripping, man. Don't pretend like you really about that. It ain't no competition or none of that. It's you really not from that. If you're not from that, don't fake that funk today, man. It's not a good look. People really in the trenches right now. They really are looking. And so that pain of a failed purpose, because it's good to have a purpose. But when now they don't want you in that environment no more. You know how many believers walk in them streets because they don't feel the love in the house, man, in the nation. If that don't work, now what's left for you? Death and destruction. So what is Brother Ishmael talking about? Man, put more love on the people. Yeah, we got our high standards in the nation. Yeah, well, when I get right, brother, then I'm gonna, when I put this weed down, then I'm gonna come get with you. Brother, show up, smoke the weed, put in the car, and come on in the house, man, because something gonna happen to you to get you to be able to put down the weed, to stop this or to stop that. It's gotta come from within, but you cannot not go to the hospital and get healed. I'm not talking about this white man's hospital. I'm talking about the hospital for the healing of the black man and woman. There is no other solution, man. So if the minister say, okay, everybody, if you with me, you not taking that vaccination. Some of us, yes, sir. I don't need no co-signing from a doctor. They said, brother, I conditioned myself to realize that man got love for me. I'm listening to it. Oh, y'all like some puppets. You damn right. You a puppet for somebody else. I'm a puppet for Farrakhan. You right, bro. We gonna see how it play out. That's what's moving. Oh, I'm my own man. You ain't your own man. What, you making your own money? What you mean you your own man? I don't, that's what's wrong with y'all. Brother, these are the thoughts that we deal with. But the point I'm really want to drive home is when you hit on, Brother Ben, society is saying to stop. Don't touch that. The little boys out there, bless the mamas and the grandmamas, but you can't make the boy that men training. They need to do stuff. But if everything they do is wrong, at some point they don't even try no more. What's wrong with you? You said your brothers ain't doing nothing because they was beat down. Nothing in society affirmed them. And now you come around looking crazy as hell, loving on black folks? Oh, nigga, what's wrong with you, man? You should be trying to get like the white folks. Nah, man. Coming to love on black folks. You look crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Is that they looking at you. You trying to help them? Why you trying to help me? What you trying to get from me? You ain't got nothing for me to get. What you mean? What am I trying to get? I'm trying to get up out of you what's in us so we can go deal with this real enemy, man. You can't see that? That's what I love when the brother tell the story about Birmingham and this and that. I know where they been. I already know they understand certain things because they've been there. There's a realness that if you have enough conversation, oh, yeah, okay. Now we back to what's real. All this made up stuff, it fades, man. It's the realness that's going to come down to, are you staying alive or not? And if you can't deal with your stuff, if I can't deal with my stuff, I've been with me my whole life. Whatever you're gonna find out, I could tell you about it. You're not gonna dig deep enough to find out. You don't know enough about this. I've been with this the whole journey, 55, 56 years. But you're gonna try to size it up. You have no idea about my mama and them. You no idea. You ain't never asked me, and I ain't telling you. But my point I'm saying is, and that brothers out there like that. That's sis. So that's why to me, when I hear the minister, that is supreme love, man. That man don't have to do what he do in the sense of, in one sense, on another sense, Allah can't let him do nothing else. Elijah Muhammad figured that out. He tested him. He ain't gonna turn his back. He gonna say, look what Allah did. That's huge, man. Oh, look what I finally did. Look what Allah has done. To do a selfless work like that, oh, there's layers we got to go through. You can't miss the Ramadan. You can't. And so there's brothers out there that have to come hear this because we in an hour every second, every day. You can't assume they're going to get somebody else going to come along and drop that knowledge on them. You might have been the only one passing by and, oh, can you invite you? Invite you? Oh, and then just let them go. Death is where they headed. And oh well, if you want them to die, then you definitely not gonna say nothing. Just let them keep on going about their business. It's love to engage someone because it's a long-term thing. Here's a dangerous thing. When somebody think they can count on you and then you ain't there. That's why I understand 110th Surah. When they start running into them doors, because they want to blame somebody. If they can't blame Kamala, they can't blame Trump. They can't. Whoever's in front of their face, they gotta blame. They want to put that. So that's why the minister says, "Oh no, let me direct that over there to where that belongs." And that's why that Dianetics and that. If you don't go back and find who used to say that, who told you that, where did you hear that? Why did you get that idea from? Well, my mama used to always say, and my dad, my cousin went to. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Tell me more about that. If you don't get that up out of you, whoever you about to bump into is about to bump into a ticking time bomb, guaranteed. Because something in them, if you don't get that up off of them, they gonna have to deal with that. They gonna marry on and buy on the more than they can handle. It's called you, it's called me, because we haven't done that work to say, hey, they spitting all in your face and you worried about COVID, but you still got that kind of love to be there, bruh. This ain't no easy work. This right here. It's okay. You said I want to help out. I said I want to help out. And it's a dangerous thing to not let somebody help out, especially if they're a grown person. That's a dangerous thing to do because they're not leaving. You telling them I ain't got no job for you? Well, they're gonna create something because they have to be busy doing something in this work. And they might, and if they can't do it here, they running back out there, drive a truck, this and that, whatever. There's trucks needed to be driven in the nation. There needs to be conversation. Hey, this is the skills I bring. How can we do this internally? I want to do this for us. I want to do this for the nation. Because if I go back out there, it's going to be hell. I want to dedicate my prayer, my sacrifice, life and death, all for this. You have to let that happen, man. You have to allow some room in your assembly. Give them some elbow room so they can show forward their gifts because we got a whole world to build. We can start in Chicago, start in LA, start wherever we are. But we have to make some elbow room because out there doesn't want us to do anything. And we have to say, what stopped ourselves? Where did I stop? Where did I stop believing? Yeah, where did I stop believing? When did I stop believing in Elijah? When did I stop? And that's why the minister called and 1,500 men came out to that Dianetic seminar. In their ranks, they know. Ain't never been no seminar that big. A 2-day seminar. You know who was there? Ex-lieutenants, ex-captains, ex-secretaries that was with Elijah Muhammad. Because you know what the minister figured out? They got to be going through pain. He remembered how fired up they were, how excited they were. They was all about Elijah Muhammad, and now, oh, he did. And now they out there in them streets, the kicking wisdom here and there, sounding crazy as hell, because it's not organized in an organized way with the modern technology, brother. And they're not able to bring it all the way home and live it out. And they in pain. They in pain. So hopefully we don't have to experience that, but we got to go get it. Y'all stay strong and never give up on fire.
Thank you. Team, if y'all can put a 3-minute time limit on, I do have a meeting at 9 and I want to get through this queue. So we're going to add the time limit now. Brother Craig.
Assalamu alaikum, fam. Ramadan Mubarak. Man, Ben, you were talking about the work, and there's this saying in AA. I hope I don't cross any lines, but forever I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how to incorporate The actions of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 steps. It's a saying that says you can't think your way into right living. You have to act your way into right living. And Alcoholics Anonymous provides the 12 steps. These are actions. And at the beginning, it says, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not give themselves to this simple program, usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. Then it goes down and gives some steps on what we do. And we found out that it was not about the substance. The thing was about me having resentments with people, things that happened 20 years ago. How do I get rid of the resentments? There are actions to get rid of the resentments. I would drink and use because I couldn't forgive people. And it was just bang on my mind. And when you say, I forgave them, but as soon as their name come up, I get mad again. They give actions on what to do to forgive people. In 12 simple steps, and it's all about God. It mentions the substance one time. It's all about my selfishness. It's all internal. It's all me. I've been trying, me and a couple brothers been trying to rack our brain to figure out how we can get blacks, a 12 step for black people. So cause this thing works. It's actions that we take. We ain't thinking, we ain't talking. It's things we have to do. And the only problem that we have with getting brothers to do it and getting everybody all in is that we have to have a primary purpose. And that's what's missing in our community is a primary purpose, a singleness of purpose. With alcohol and drugs, man, our primary purpose, we want to get off. And that pain from using will motivate us to actually work these steps because when we fall off and we come back and see the people that was working and they still there, oh man, he's still here. He never fell off. Something about this works. So I come back. I wish I could go through the 12 steps, but this is a whole nother program. But me, I'm seeking God everywhere he is. I don't care where he at. I'm going. If God ain't there, I ain't going. If he there, I'm there because again, my life is on the line. Yeah, that's why 3 minutes. I wish I had some more, man. But I got a lot to say about this, man, with this 12 steps.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing. Sister Kenyatta.
She just left.
Sister Kenyatta left?
Yes, she did.
Sister, brother, is it Darius? Darius?
Brother Darius, big bro.
Oh, brother Darius, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem.
Yes, sir. I had left off after the reading. I had to go take a shower, and the whole time I was in the shower, I was thinking about the reading, and this was some powerful, powerful reading. And I think every Ramadan, this surah, the immunity, it stands out to me. We read a lot about hypocrisy. We read about backbiting, cowardliness, niggardliness, just everything that encompasses hypocrisy. First of all, let me say how grateful I am and thankful I am to be a part of this power call, to be a part of Ramadan, doing my Ramadan this way. I'm very grateful to Brother Ben and everybody involved who put this together. I did it last year with you guys and just had a beautiful experience. And this year I'm also having a beautiful experience. Sometimes I think, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't cheat, I don't steal, but they got other issues, spiritual issues that we still have to address. Those physical issues are easy because we can see them, but they got things we can't see, or we refuse to see. And this surah just, immunity, and that's what I kept thinking about. Even Brother Remus
was talking about the vaccination, this surah is a vaccination. You know, we all raised our sleeve up and got the jab today. And you know, to fight that hypocrisy that's already in you, to fight that backbiting that's already in you, to fight that cowardliness that's already in you. Man, this reading just, it has me full, and I'm grateful to be here and very, very thankful. Um, yeah, brother, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. Sister Brianna.
Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to say real quick, to concur to what you say, like share your life story, share share something that you are going through, so we can help each other. But also, what Brother Remus said, I wanted to comment on that, because I wanted to go to like the org, and I was instructed by a couple of people in the ministry staff to not do that. Like, when the minister said that we can go, that was for people to get the auditing training. But now that that period is over, the minister, or I'll say the ministers, so I don't want to put the ministers word in it. I'll say the ministers, at least here in Chicago, they tell us don't go to the org because our sins would be put on record. And that's not what it's supposed to be about. I think that clock was from somebody else because I had 50 seconds. So at least that is what has been instructed to me, because I wanted to go like not that long ago, and they're like, we would rather you not. There's a lot of people in the nation that do auditing. So I think that was for a period of time. So yes, I'll leave it there. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Sister Diabra.
Yes, sir. I wanted to speak on the minister's departure. The minister, and I hope I can get through this. The minister departure is very dear to my heart, and I'm very passionate about that. And I thank you, Brother Ben, for playing that clip regarding the departure. And he doesn't, and he's told us not to be personality worshipers. Mm-hmm. He said oftentimes we treat him like a lovely song. You know, we have the we also have the clips. I'm sorry, I'm messing up. In the clip, it reminded me of the conversation that Mother Tanetta had with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because she was asking him, what is she going to do when he departs? And he told her, seek refuge in Allah. The same thing our minister is telling us, plus keep building the nation by going after our people, because our nation will not fall again. And I believe that Allah sent Brother Jabril Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him, and Mother Tanetta Muhammad, to the minister, and gave him a book in a brown bag, which was, is it possible that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is physically alive? So the minister studied this book, and then when he came out of the room, his soldier that was standing outside of the room, he said, I don't know. He said there was a light all over the minister. And he said, I don't know what's going on, but count me in. And that brother's name was Brother Wahid. And he's called the first. And the minister has already set the stage for us, because he has appointed Brother Arvins to witness when he goes to the mother plane. So he can come back and tell us that he physically saw the minister going. And it really bothers me it bothers me to hear some of us saying we want the minister to stay. What else can he do? He has taught us everything we need to know. We have his lectures, his videos, his books, the study guides. He has given us everything. And the study guides, they're stair steps to becoming a guide. And that's what we are supposed to be striving to do. And lastly, I realized that the minister has been a perfect servant to Allah, and that he has fought the good faith, and a crown is laid up for him. And they tried to kill him 3 times, but Allah would not allow them to cause his death. They burnt his insides with the radiation seas. So we can't be selfish and want him to stay here any longer than he have to. And that's what my prayer is to Allah. I said, don't allow him to stay here any longer than he have to. I don't want to see him go, but our praises are due to Allah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Sister Kenyatta is not here anymore. Brother Sultan.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem.
It's been a journey. This year has been a journey, brother. With our people, the mission. And I did not, from the very beginning of last year, once I got my pen and got going, I hit the ground running for our people, because I know the mission is to go after our people. And I set that goal to go after our people day in, day out, any kind of time I had, whether I'm going into stores, no matter where I'm at, rental car, out of town, at the airport, to go after our people and get our people to hear the message and understand what time we are in, the time we are facing, and what we're dealing with. I don't have a lot of time, but I do want to go back to Sister on Friday, the young sister that's from Oakland. And if she's on this call right now, I want to let her know that she has just the right amount of firepower that we need in her for the mission. And I want to make sure that she, if she's on the line, she could just say, yes, I'm here, brother. If she's not, I can't remember her name. But that young sister is from a city that I was born in and raised in, Oakland, California. And that city is full of young, ambitious people that don't know, they don't know. They got so much energy, they don't know what to do with it. But I thank Allah for bringing that sister in. She's in, I think I heard her say Tennessee, but she's got the right firepower. The hyphy, the spirit, she got the right everything that you need to go after the other young sisters that got that same energy. They might speak a little different language, but she's got the right firepower that's needed to go after our people and be successful. I wish she was on this line. I'm gonna cut it short right there, but I just wanted to get that sister. I just wanted to let that sister know that, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. I'm gonna cut it off right there. I'll get back on another day.
Thank you. Brother Martin.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. In the chat, I put Brother Lukemon's information, because he ties Dianetics, the Quran, the Supreme Wisdom together, so we can get a complete, comprehensive understanding of all, clearing words. It's just a beautiful setting. And I wanted to, Brother Remus and a few others spoke on Brother Real, who is just so phenomenal. Brother Ben, you referred to Closing the Gap a lot, but that book, is it physically possible that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive? We really need to read and study that book, as well as Minister Jibril's book, This is the One, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We need not look for another. That book is so powerful to add to our arsenal. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. I seen brother was it Javar who asked about burnout. Sister Ava Muhammad has a lecture on burnout that we've listened to on the power call. I think you should check that out. What do you do during burnout? But I wanted to share some practical things, and I was doing a little research here about, okay, what is the root of what burnout even is, right? So it says burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress, overworked, or feeling overwhelmed. It often happens when someone takes on too many responsibilities, faces constant pressure, or lacks proper rest and balance. What causes burnout? Overworking, taking on too many tasks without enough rest, lack of control, feeling stuck in a situation with no say or flexibility, unrealistic expectations, high personal or external pressure to achieve more, neglecting self-care, skipping sleep, proper nutrition, exercise, or personal time, emotional stress. Do any of those sound familiar to you when you
Yes, sir.
mention it over burnout? So it talks about some ways to overcome it. Number one, rest. Rest and recharge. Take breaks. Get enough sleep and allow yourself downtime. A big one here is set boundaries. So learn to say no. Every time that we say yes to something, we're also saying no to something else. And oftentimes when we're saying yes to everyone else, sometimes, a lot of times, we're actually saying no to ourselves. So learning how to say no and be comfortable with that. Prioritizing self-care. So finding time to exercise, making sure that you're eating well. You know, they say you are what you eat. So making sure that you're putting the proper foods in your body, making sure sometimes or off time that you're fasting to get the food that has went in, the toxins. Let's get some of that up out of us through fasting. Doing activities that make you feel good, happy. For me, it may be basketball. For you, it may be soccer. For you, it may be something else. Reevaluating your goals. So focus on what truly matters and simplify where possible. As I said, purpose and aim is very important. You know, that gives you energy. The minister said when we're talking about even God, that the electrical current that goes through when you having a high level conversation like that, it gives you energy. So what is something that gives you life? Are you doing it? Are you feeling fulfilled? Do you feel like you're going somewhere just to make a dollar, or do you feel like this is somewhere of fulfillment? If it's not, okay, we know you still have responsibilities, but what is the plan? How can you move your schedule around to make sure that you're doing something that's also fulfilling while you're doing something that's necessary? And then seek support. Talk to a mentor, talk to a therapist, things of that nature. And that last part where it says seek support, I want to also go here where we say seek refuge in Allah. Now, oftentimes that can be a cliche. Well, brother, seek refuge in Allah. Right? We know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told Mother Tanetta, seek refuge in Allah. But again, what does that mean? What does it mean? And then what does it look like? Because we all may say it, seek refuge in Allah, dear brother. Okay, so here's some things that we can do. Turn to Allah in prayer. So instead of just saying, I seek refuge in Allah, you know, whenever you have these overwhelming thoughts about stress and these things that's happening, stop and pray. What does the Quran say? Seek assistance through what? Patience and prayer. And indeed, it is difficult except for the humbly submissive or the humble ones. So seek assistance through patience and prayer. Then protect your mind. If negative thoughts start to creep in, instead of entertaining them, immediately recite, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed devil. Quran says, and if an evil suggestion comes to you from Satan, now we know Satan ain't just some pitchfork guy under no ground. Human being or even our own thoughts. Devil is going contrary to the will of God. The serpent that we're taught about, this snake, it's not no real animal talking to me. This is a contrary, crooked thought in my mind. So when that evil suggestion comes up and creeps up like a slinking devil it talks about, then remind yourself to seek refuge in Allah. Indeed, He is hearing and knowing. So we got to fight the thought that's in our mind. Physically distance yourself from harm. So seeking refuge, getting away from those who, you know, it's not just about the spiritual refuge, but there's a physical refuge. There's people you have to literally say, no, I'm not going to be around this type of person because they bring me negative energy. You may have to physically remove yourself. So the Quran says, and when you see those who engage in offensive discourse concerning our verses, then turn away from them until they enter into another discourse. So that can be a bad job. That can be a group, a toxic relationship, an environment that you may have to cut off for the betterment of your soul and your own spirit. Another one, trust Allah's plan and let go of control. Instead of stressing over things outside of your control, practice trust in Allah. So if you're struggling financially, instead of panicking, take steps to budget, find work, or seek help while making dua and trusting Allah will provide. So it says in the Quran, and whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. This is Surah 65:3. Surround yourself with good people and knowledge. Allah isn't some mystery God, some little spook or spirit, by the way. Allah works through human beings. So seeking refuge in Allah also means seeking a better environment. Sometimes that counsel or guidance from Allah is going to come through a human being. So don't get spooked out. So let me prove it to you. Let's go into where several places in the Quran and the Bible talks about a man, or a woman, whomever, a human being being raised in modern time, that time, to deliver a message for you. So let's look at the Quran. Obedience to the messenger, not some spook. The messenger. It says, Surah 4:59, O you who have believed, obey Allah and obey the messenger and those in authority among you. And if you disagree over anything, refer to Allah and the messenger if you should believe in Allah and the last day. That is the best way and best end result. Let's go to Bible. Somebody say, oh, I don't know about the Quran. What about what the Bible say? Well, the Bible says, this is in Deuteronomy, I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their brothers. I will put my words in his mouth. That means ain't no spook speaking up out the sky. I will put my words in his mouth, meaning one will be raised from among you. You're talking to the Israelites at that time. Many of us, we the real children of Israel, right? I will, like you, from among their brothers, I will put my words in his mouth, and he will tell them everything I command him. I will hold accountable whoever does not listen to my words that he speaks in my name. Go back to the Quran. The duty of the messengers is to deliver a clear message. O messenger, convey what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you do not, then you have not conveyed his message. And Allah will protect you from the people. Indeed, Allah does not guide the disbelieving people. So this is Allah once again putting his words in the messenger. Go back to the Bible. For I did not speak on my own. This is Jesus. For I did not speak on my own, but the Father who sent me commanded me what to say and how to say it. I know that his command leads to eternal life. So whatever I say is just what the Father has told me to say. Sounds like a pattern. And the Bible also says God changes not. So sounds like a pattern that he puts a word in someone. And a human being is the one who says it. But we don't seek refuge, of course, in the human being. That person delivers a message and takes you to seek refuge in Allah. But don't get so spooked out that you think that it's not going to be a human that you're going to have some level of connection with, some type of interaction with to receive it. Then you internalize it. But at the end of the day, Allah is the only reality. Don't you know that you are the real temple of God and that the Spirit dwells within you? We're the real house of God, not some building that they made of bricks. So the Quran says every nation receives a messenger. This is Surah 10:47. And for every nation is a messenger. So when their messenger comes, it will be judged between them in justice, and they will not be wrong. Then in another place we read, I think this is Surah 14:4, if I'm thinking about this right, it says every nation received a messenger speaking their language, because it has to be clear for them. So seek refuge in Allah, do things for yourself and then get to the root of why you stressed out too. Some of us just stress and we ain't even analyze why I'm stressed. What is it? Identify what it is that's making me stressed. What is it about what they did that got me overwhelmed? Really figure it out, because it may be tied to some level of trauma, like Brother Remus was talking about. You got to get to the root of it. Man, my mother always said this. This happened to me when I was younger, and you don't even know why that's a trigger. So hopefully they helped you out, Brother Javar. Let's see who's next. Let's go to We got a few more. Sister Tornisa, I got 20 minutes, maybe not even
Yes.
20 minutes.
I'm looking at chapter 8, section 10, relations of Muslim state with others. And it talks about us working together as a unit and coming together and having friendships with others. And when the nation shut down and everyone left, the minister built it back up with just a few people. And then people left the churches, they left, different places. People got put out their homes because they started to believe in Islam. And they came back to help the minister build back up the nation. And we see those that were struggling hard to come in and help. But we're not responsible for those that is not in the nation, those that choose not to be a part of the nation, because there's no compulsion in Islam. Rather be children or husbands, they have to seek refuge in Allah themselves. We can't make them believers. They have to do that themselves. That's why they come in and do their own letter. And sometimes we really see them struggle on the outside because they choose this devil's world. You can't have one foot in, one foot out, but it's up to them. However, if they do come and they decide to seek help in the matter of religion, it is incumbent on the Muslims to be able to help them, give them help, show them a way, give them love. And that's one of the things that we see in the Nation of Islam. We see them as Muslims. It also talks about when we have a need to come together, that we have more in common than not in common. And we see that with the blacks coming together. But if we do not come together, it talks about if you do not help your brother in the matter of religion, the disbelievers will become more daring in their persecutions and in causing mischief and disorder in the land. And we see that today. The more we are divided, we are not together, they come up with these harsh judgments against us. And we fall victim for that. Oh, he deserved that. He did this, he did that. We was not made niggas until we came here. We was not made drug addicts until we came here. We was not made prostitutes until we come here. So when we look at our brothers and sisters falling, it could be us. And instead of naming them and calling names, we need to say, that's my brother who's on drugs. He's not a drug addict. It is my brother first. And that's what we're taught in the nation. The best word that we could give to our people is brothers and sisters. And if we look at our brothers and sisters as if we looked at ourselves, we wouldn't be so harsh to condemn them. Another thing it talked about is those who believe and fled and struggled hard in Allah's way. They struggling and we gave them shelter and we helped them. Those are the truly believers. So if you have a apartment or something, I know I had just came out of a shelter and I gave my apartment up to, I helped someone and they lived in my apartment longer than I had even had my own apartment. Was she nice and kind like no, no. However, I did a good deed. Allah knows my heart, you know? I mean, you open up a door to a believer and they don't want to pray with you. They separating your refrigerator. But I just came out the shelter. But all praise is due to Allah. I see where my heart is. And we have other people like that. But you have people that condemn people when you see them down, you talk about them, you make them feel bad. No, sir, that's not right. Believe in Allah and believe in the last day, and you help those that cannot help themselves because you are responsible for that. And when we see strangers on the street and they come in to assist us, they don't necessarily have to be in the nation, but you see strangers that want to just come and help. No, I don't believe in this and other, but I just want to help you. I just want to do something. I just want to give. Embrace them. Embrace them. That is charity. That's a form of charity. The minister said when people come to the mosque, that's charity. They may not have a dollar, but they're there. And it helps bring up the energy. That's charity. Yesterday, my daughter and I went to the hospital and we seen the elder. And when I was homeless, the sister let me stay in her house. And so we came there and my daughter prayed and she recited the surah, and it lifted her spirits up. And she asked her, Talia, how you doing? She said, I'm awesome. She said, oh man. And the person next door, she was like, she just started giggling like, wow. So start bringing your children to elders too to help lift up their spirits. Not just a dog. People bring their, oh, it's a dog or an animal. No, bring your babies. Let them know that we're supposed to help the elders. Let them know that we're supposed to be around those that is disabled. Don't let them fear someone that's disabled. Bring them around and see them. Say, look, our job is to help them. Let's give charity. So when Talia goes to the shelters, she writes a note in the acts of kindness, Surah 107, and she gives her little personal thing, and we give clothes back to the shelter. Because I remember when somebody was giving me. So we gotta do that for one another. Don't look at someone that's not who you think you are, and then you look down at these people. Let's give love, especially the holy month of Ramadan. But let's not forget and just do it the month of Ramadan. When we come out of this, continue to do good deeds so that Allah will look at you and reward you gracefully. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sister Tornisa. Brother Gerald?
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam. If we couldn't hear you,
Okay.
brother, we would have told you.
Oh, well, I gotta make sure.
Yes, sir.
Cause I'm out and about working, so I just want to make sure.
Okay. Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so my initial thought was definitely about because I'm out working, so I'm not reading per se with everyone, but I was listening, and the thought that was inspired was mainly about the hypocrite as well. And in my journey in Islam, I'm one who transitioned from quote unquote Orthodox Islam for about roughly 20 years into under the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in that journey, my understanding about the hypocrite um, has evolved, but it was one that always stood out to me because if I recall correctly, it was spoke about either in a hadith or in the Quran, where it was mentioned that the hypocrite would be in the lowest depths of hell. And in my understanding of that being the reason why is because the hypocrite is the one that can cause the most damage amongst the brotherhood and amongst the sisterhood. And it's about what they do. It's about what they say and then what they do, right? But understanding also in this time of growth, when I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talk about the Muslim, and he's saying how we say we Muslim, and we use that term sometimes so loosely, and then he corrects us and say, no, we're striving to be Muslim. We're striving to be in total submission, right? So if that's the case, if I just believe and I'm striving to be in total submission, but I'm not a disbeliever, right? Then there's a middle person. Just like when we talk about the hypocrite, the disbeliever, and the believer, the hypocrite is the middle person. So in our striving, I think just to be aware of the fact of how sensitive of a position that is, understanding that there is acts of hypocrisy that we may exhibit, some consciously, some unconsciously, right? But understanding that in that sensitive position, how we can cause an individual to stray. We can cause an individual to start living in error in certain aspects. And so for myself, in my striving and in my understanding also of the teachers, right?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Gerald. I don't want to mute you, but your
What
time is
happened?
up.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't looking at my phone, but thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can call on the next one, Sister Randy. I'm registering for my next meeting.
Brother Sultan?
Yes, ma'am. I'm back. I wanted to just, mention that it's very important that we protect the spirit of the nation, protect the spirit of the brotherhood and the sisterhood, and allow no one to commit a nuisance on or near our posts. What is our post? Every day we have a post to not allow no one to commit a nuisance on that post, because it can affect your spirit and the duties and responsibilities that we must perform every day for ourselves. Just protecting, the essence of who we are becoming, the studying, the practicing, and everything. Our prayers, who we choose to hang out with, who we choose to sit on the phone with, and allow those distractions to come and interfere with your thoughts on how you feel about, where you need to be and striving to be the best you can be. So I just wanted to put that there. And then I want to, say that we all come from struggles. We all come from different backgrounds that usually, that's a part of the struggle. And out of that struggle, we stay in struggle to become better, the sacrifice and what we need to do. But staying in that struggle is what formed me, and what forms me every day to become better at going after the people, better at dealing with family issues, better at dealing with neighbor, whether it's, neighbors, no matter what it is. So I always make sure I stay in the mindset of struggling. I'm struggling. I'm above the struggle. Never
We can't hear no more.
striving. I'm always striving. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So
Yes, sir. We hear
I
you.
never. Okay. And then I got to break that off because I don't have much time. But I do want to say that it's unfortunate that a lot of the people that I did reach out to, that I keep reaching out to, and once I get an answer on their end to try to get them out to the mosque, I'm hearing that so many of them have passed away. And I don't even want to go in that conversation, but to know that the people that you're meeting, you're giving a final call to, and you're trying to get them to come out, they might say, hey, I'm going to come out next week. And then I'll come out next week. And then a month later here, half of the people I invited have been passing away. It's sad. I'll get to that another day, another time. And assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you all for participating. Thank you everybody for their feedback. We have completed so far 1 through 10. So man, we getting through this thing. We'll be back on inshallah tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time. I do have to get to my meeting, so we're going to close out now. If you guys have any more feedback, you can share it inside of our school community, www.thepowercall.net, www.thepowercall.net, if you have anything that you would like to share. Also, those of y'all who are tuned in on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, and you would like to, potentially share your feedback on the Zoom in the morning, www.thepowercall.net as well. Also, I saw somebody ask how to donate and support the Power Call. That's also inside of the Power Call. It's pinned to the top now. I just put the link there for those of y'all who want to support, donate, and help just this thing continue on. If you appreciate it, if you value it, that is also inside of the Power Call school community. So thank y'all for listening, and I'll see you guys inshallah tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum, and have a blacktastic day. Peace.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister.